All right, so even though this is very much a pre-alpha stage of the Brawlhalla card game, I wanted to show a typical game, basically. So I've drawn 12 cards, basically at random. And I did look at the cards a little bit to kind of see if anything interesting happened. But yeah, basically 12 cards per deck. Player 1 is over here on the left, player 2 is here on the right. We have the timeline here. This is the new resource management and kind of system I'm going to be putting in the next version. We have our 3 locations here in the middle. So player 1 is going to draw 3 cards, and player 2 is going to draw 4 cards. All right, so first player, you start at 3. We start at 3 here. They're going to draw a card, and we're going to see which cards we get. And also on round 1, we reveal the first location. So yeah, let's see what we got here. See Sidra. I'm not going to go in depth into all these cards. I'm just going to kind of like play kind of stuff that makes sense here. Let's start with Sentinel, actually. He will inspire the other cards in his location, kind of buffing them. So that's 3. That costs 3. So that means we're going to move this back to 0. Now it is still player 1's turn because you know the turn doesn't swap to the other side until you get to 1 on the opponent's side. But I'm going to say that player 1 doesn't play any more cards here. Oh yeah, by the way, after turn 4, all cards controlled by the player losing here are KO'd or removed from the game. So we'll go ahead and pass, which means that this gets reset to 3 on the opponent's side. Very cool. So now, player 2's hand. We got these cards here. I'm going to draw another card as well. So we have 3. 3 time is kind of the resource here. Let's see, what do we got here? Lord Vrax could be pretty cool. Let's start with the Ada, though. That's Ada, it costs 1, so that brings us down to 2. Let's also go ahead and play... so Ada says when any card is played here at this location, this card switches sides. So let's also play Isaiah here, that costs 1 more. That means Ada switches over here to this side, and she will be buffed by Sentinel here, because that's an ongoing effect. Is there anything else we want to play? Let's see. Let's go with... let's play Koji. Which means that Ada will swap back here. Koji loses power if the opposing side has all 4 slots filled. But that's 2, which means we go from 1 on player 2's side to 1 on player 1's side. So there we go. It is now round 2, which means we reveal the second location. Ongoing effects here are doubled. All right, we draw a card. Sir Roland, your opponent's cards at this location lose 1 power. It makes sense to play that here. So all of these will lose 1 power, and Ada gets switched back over to here. So Roland costs 1, which means we go from 1 to 0. Here we could still play, but honestly, at this point, I think we're going to go ahead and pass once again, which means that we go back to 3 on the other side. We're still in round 2. Player 2 gets to draw another card, and here I'm going to say that player 2 decided to be a bit sneaky. Player 2 decided to make it look like they were committing to this location, but they're going to spend 6 to play Lord Vrax here. On reveal, if you're winning this location and this is your only card here, destroy all other locations. So using all of these, this location and all the cards here, they are gone. Poof. They are out of the game entirely. And that also goes for this location here, which was going to be this one. You can move cards to this location. Not really, doesn't really matter anymore. So now all we have is this one. And Lord Vrax has 7 strength. So that's pretty substantial, but he also costs 6. So we go from 3 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we have 3 on the other side, and it is the first player's turn. So player 1 is going to draw a card. We are now starting round 3. And honestly, player 1 sees this situation and is going to play Sidra. On reveal, swap Sidra with the opponent's strongest card at this location. Obviously, that has to be Lord Vrax. So we swap these around, and now player 1 has Lord Vrax, and player 2 has Sidra. Sidra cost 1, which means we go from 3 to 2 here. And it's kind of a bit of an Uno reverse card kind of a thing, you know. Let's see what else. Let's also let's see. Let's also play this one. Let's play the Brawlhalla here. When he gets KO'd, he returns to your hand, but he's also stronger as well. So right now he doesn't have much power, but if he gets KO'd for whatever reason, he will come back much stronger. So now we're at 0. Because there's not many places to play, let's go ahead and pass so that we don't want to commit too early to this. So I'll move this back over to 3, and now we're going to draw a card here. So yeah, so player 2 has Caspian. On reveal, your opponent gains control of this. This may look like a 5-8. Actually, if you look closely, this is a 5 -8, and so it's actually a very bad thing. So right now, it kind of looks like player 1 is winning because of the 7 and the 1, as opposed to just the 1 here with Sidra. But player 2 can play an Uno reverse on the Uno reverse by playing Caspian. When he reveals, he switches over to the side because, you know, your opponent gains control of this. So now we have, let's see, 7, 8, -8, 0. That also cost 5, which means that we're going to move this from 3 to 2 on the other side. And it's now player 1's turn. Now, I will say that, honestly, player 1 could have played this one first. On reveal, abilities don't happen at this location. If they did, then Caspian wouldn't have triggered at all because that's an on-reveal effect. But then again, player 2 would have also seen this and would have not played Caspian at all. Just a note there on how that would work. Anyway, starting round 4. Now things are looking pretty bad here. There's only 1 slot left for a card, and there's still a couple rounds to go, so I think we're probably going to need to play patiently here. We do have this pretty powerful card here. The on-reveal effect is not going to matter much because movement doesn't matter. There's only 1 location left, but probably going to hang on to that for now and pass and go back to the other side. 3 on the other side. So now player 2 draws, let's see, Red Raptor. After any card is played here, KO this card and that card. So that might actually be pretty good because even though this has a lot of power, this also could basically force the other player to kind of like waste a card because it will get KO'd and everything. So I'm going to play this, which costs 3. Yeah, there we go. We're not going to play another card because otherwise Red Raptor would be KO'd and the card we played would get KO'd. So we're going to pass, and we're going to start round 5, second to last round. Here we go. We got Ezio. If this is in your hand at the end of your turn, discard it. Now this would be pretty good because we have this, and you know, that's a lot of power. We definitely need it. But the problem is that Red Raptor is there to basically destroy him. So honestly, since if we keep this in our hand and at the end of the turn he's going to get discarded anyway, I'm going to go ahead and play this, which means that this guy's KO'd and Red Raptor is KO'd. Moving back to, because he was cost 3, so we move back to 0. And we're going to also wait again and pass because we want to wait until the end to see if anything else happens here. So let's move this back to 3 on the other side. All right. Bödvar, 1+1 power for each opposing card at this location. It's actually pretty good. I'm realizing I have a lot of we have a lot of 3-cost cards. I might need to kind of adjust that and maybe get a bit more diversity or something. But yeah, so ongoing. So that's just an ongoing effect. He'll have +1 strength, so 1, 2, 3. So 2 + 3. This will have 5. Which honestly, against this 0 that's happening here, that's pretty good. Also, just because we're gonna, this is the second to last round, we're gonna play Dusk as well. So that's 3. So he's just kind of like, you can move this card once, but again, that doesn't matter because just kind of there's nowhere to move to. Anyway, that costs 1 and that costs 3, which means we go from 3 on player 2's side to 1 on player 1's side. Starting the 6th and final round, draw a card. On reveal, play a random card from your deck at this location. It's not very helpful because there's no more room to put another card. Honestly, the best bet here is to play Cassidy because of her 7 power, or 7 strength. The on reveal doesn't really matter that much because, you know, again, move the other cards your opponent played this turn to this location. There's no movement going on. But a lot of movement could go on if there were more locations. That cost 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now player 2 is going to draw a card and has 4 time remaining, but only 1 slot to play. So yeah, this is not looking terribly good for player 2 because we have 7, 8, minus 8 plus 7, which is 7 total. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, it is looking pretty good. Yeah, honestly, might as well just kind of play one of these last 2 remaining cheap cards here. I'm going to play this. Volkov, which he gets more powerful when you discard cards. Wait, for each card discarded this game, actually, which there hasn't been any card discarded in this game. But yeah, and that's the end. And so now we kind of we count everything. So once again, we've established player 1 has 7, and player 2 has, let's see, what was it again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 7 versus 11. Player 2 wins, and that's a game, basically. I think one of the big things I'm noticing with playtesting is that there can be a lot that you kind of need to keep track of, and I want to try to keep that to a minimum. Like obviously you can have counters on a board and stuff like that, but I want to try to reduce that as little as you can, but also it still feels good to buff your own cards and everything. So there's going to be probably going to be some counters and everything to kind of put on. If I were smart, I would have pennies or dimes and stuff and actually put them on cards to kind of keep track of how much extra strength they're getting from various buffs or debuffs or whatever. But that's essentially how you play. I'm working on this is pre-alpha. I'm working on the alpha version, which will be much more refined and we'll actually have playtesting and everything. But I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this gives a good idea of I guess the vision. I'm trying to convey the general vision that I have here. Obviously, usually at the end of a game, you'd have 3 locations with cards played there, but in this case, we had Lord Brax destroying things, and then there's a bunch of flip-flopping and all that. That's the kind of drama and dynamic play that I hope for with this. Anyway, thank you for watching, and all the best.